Rumble, rumble, rumble. It was finally the day when the Nazis came to El Diablo town, and they were going to take over the place. At first, though, we thought they were going to help us in the war, so we actually elected one of their big leaders as president. That was when everything went wrong. The government had ordered in tanks and other military units to patrol the streets, and my favorite store was burnt down and destroyed. Now, though, all that was happening was pain and misery. I stood in the window and watched people's relatives being taken away in the cool winter breeze. I ran down the stairs and over an old bridge to find where they all being taken to. I kept running to see a sad boy being taken away by the Nazis. I got closer to see the Nazis. Soldiers were holding a gun to him. Then I realized it was my friend George being taken away. It made me super sad. So I had to sit on the curb and watch the cars and trucks go by. There was an unhappy man yelling something. I'm not sure what, though. Then I had an idea. I would follow them to see where George was being taken. I ran into buildings, upstairs, and into basements, trying to find where they were taking George. Finally, on the far east side of town, I found a dirt road that had bunches of Nazi trucks and cars on it. I kept going until the road turned into a forest. Then I finally got through the forest, and what I saw was horrible.
It was a concentration camp, and through the fence I saw George and Mary. Mary was my other friend who went missing a few days before. I knew what was happening now, and I knew it had to stop. After I ran back home to get some food and other supplies from the storage room. When my mom saw me, she asked what I was doing. I told her all that I had found out about. She was shocked and speechless, but I didn't have time to talk, so I ran past her. When I got back to the concentration camp, I gave them lots of food and other supplies. They all loved it and appreciated it, especially George. Then I saw a Nazi guard. I had to book it and run as fast as I could into the forest. When I reached the other side, I had to run back into the forest so that I wouldn't get caught by the Nazis. I went a different way through and finally got out. I had to be very sneaky, though, because of all the patrols everywhere. I wasn't sure if the Nazi had seen me or not, but I couldn't take any chances. When I got back to town, everyone was retreating because they knew war was afoot. I heard someone say, "The British are coming, the British are coming," but I wasn't sure what that meant. And in the end, the Nazis did try to kill everyone with their mustard gas, machine guns, and tanks. But luckily they were stopped because the British came with their tanks and big trucks. After the war had ended, I went and placed a tulip on a barbed wire fence to thank all the British who had saved my country. Many years later, the place where all the men had fought is a paradise, and my tulip is still there.